class speaks about detailedly about the directives and pipes. Okay. So first directives, I can say this as directives 060918. So in this class, what are the directives I have? Okay, first directive. Already we have seen these directives in our practice, but once again I need to tell you in detail about these directives. One of the directive is ngFor. So ngFor is a directive. ngFor is a directive which will be useful to repeat an array in our HTML element.
Okay.
So this ngFor is meant for repetition of an array. So if I have an array in our component class like names, for example, courses is equal to, I have an array like what I have Angular, Node, Python, and Java. Imagine these are the 4 courses I have. I want to display these 4 courses in my HTML template. How do I bind them? I can do like this: h1 courses of 0 gives me courses of 0, not this curly brackets. It should be a array notation, Angular. So if I want the second course, I need to say course of 1, course of 2, course of 3. So if I have 4 courses, then I may write like this. But in the future, if the courses are getting increased day by day, for example, machine learning, and I have one more course also now, React.js. So how can I print these 2 courses in my HTML page? Again, I had to write it like this: 4 and 5. So this is a repetitive process. Instead of that, I can make use of a directive called ngFor. What does it do? It will repeat the respective element for array length times. If the array is if the array size is 6, then this particular h1 will be repeated for 6 times. So for example, I'll write ngFor like this: ngFor is equal to let c of courses. So this c is the variable what I am creating for courses. Okay, so every time it repeats this particular element, for every time which is repeating this element, every time you have a different c value over here. So every time c will be different. That means the whatever the value is there in the respective element in the array, in the respective iteration, the value will be stored in c. For example, if you print what is c, you will see the output like this: Angular, Node, Python, Java, machine, and React.js. So we have already seen this. You understood, Vinayak? Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, yes.
Rasika, any issues? I can't hear you, Rasika. Okay. So now let us move to the next level. Not only, I mean, this ngFor not only repeat the respective element, it will also provide some properties. What are the different properties provided to by ngFor? Okay, those properties are index, properties are index, even, odd. These are the, and first, last. These are the different properties provided by ngFor. So this ngFor provides these properties, but those properties cannot be accessed directly in the display. You have to first store it in a variable and then you can make use of it. Okay, what do you mean by that? There are 6 courses in the courses array, but I am storing those courses array. I mean, I'm pointing out, or I'm storing each particular element in the C, right? Each particular element in the C for every iteration. So the same way, we can also create a variable like I, which is equal to index, because index is a property I am assigning with equal to. Don't use of. Okay, I is equal to index. So I will be having the index of each iteration. So if this is iterating for the first time, I will be having 0 index. If it is iterating for the second time, I will be having 1, like that. So I will carry now the index of your array. So which particular value, because this Angular is in 0, Node is in 1, Python is in 2, Java is in 3, I mean index. So those indexes are stored in I. So immediately I can use that index here, like this. You can see here 0 Angular, 1 Node, 2 Python, 3 Java, like this, right? So I will carry the index. Instead of h1, let me use h5, so that I can reduce the size, because I need to carry a few more properties here. And then next, after index property, I have one more property called even. So let e is equal to even. When the index is even number, when the index is even property will have true, and that true will be stored in the e. Okay, so let us see what will be there in the e for now. Until and unless you see the real-time use case, you may not understand it, but still. So e carries true or false. That means eventually even is actually carrying the true or false. Even carries true if the index is even value. Even carries false if the index is odd value. Okay, so that is why when the index was 0, the value of even is true. When the index is odd, the value of even is false, like this. Okay, you'll understand the real time use case right now. And the same way odd also. Let me write all these properties. So if you really want to make multiple lines, you need to put this no, not happening. Better to use the double quotes only. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, so let me use the other one, that is let o is equal to odd. So now o carries true, odd carries true if the index is odd number. So let us see that. You see this 0, true, false. This true is because of e, and this false is
1
because of this o.
odd.
In the same way, I can write let f. I mean to say, if it is first value, then it will be true. Okay, f is going to have this. I mean, first you can put any name for f. So let me use that f here. So can you see this? Only for the first time the f value is true, and the remaining cases f value is false. And the same way, oh sorry, I don't have any property yet. In the same way, I can have one more property called last. Let L is equal to last, not lost, last. So let us see how to use that. If it is last index, you will get the, is it last or L?
L.
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 Yeah, so only in the last case it is true, and the remaining cases it is false.
False.
So like this. So this is how the ngFor repeats. I mean ngFor properties are there. Okay, so please go through these ngFor properties and check it out.
Yes.
So along with these properties, I can have one more property which can actually call a function for every iteration, which can call a function. You are not this track by will automatically call this xyz function. You need not to pass the parenthesis here. You are not making the function call here. Track by will do the function call automatically. So let me define a function in my class, sorry, let me define a method in my class called xyz, which does nothing, console.log of I am called. That's all. It doesn't do nothing. It just call the xyz function. Let us see that whether it will be called or not. Okay, see how many times it got called here. I am called, I am called, I am called. If I refresh the page, uh, that xyz function got called for how many times? In fact, it is showing so many statements, but it is actually getting called for uh, 6 times,
Certain
because the
times.
length of the array is 6.
6.
Okay, xyz track by. So now not
Hmm.
only this xyz is getting called, it is also passing some values. You just need to catch the values. For example, I have a and b. Imagine, so a will be having one value and b will be having one value. Let us see what are the values I have. So if you say, if you see, a is having 0 and b is having Angular. You can see this, right? So for the first iteration, for the second, in the second iteration, a is having 1 and b is having Node. For the third iteration, a is having 2 and b is having Python. Like that, every time it is passing the index in the first parameter and the value in the
Then
second parameter.
second pair.
So this two should be handled very properly. Okay, let us see what all I can do with this. What all I can do with this. if I say if b sorry a modulus 2 is equal to 0, return null. Included today. So actually track by is able to do some display over here. It is able to track, or it is able to call a function whenever it is getting displayed. Okay, so sometimes, for example, in the runtime, if I am removing an element or a value from this, okay, so this will be tracked by your xyz. So this xyz will be called, right? Whatever the logic you want to do after particular removing of an element. For example, you want to display something like an element got removed or something like that. That particular thing should be identified. So when those things can be identified, how do I identify those things? By using this track by function, because every time we are printing the array, for every element we are going to call this track by function. Okay, so going to call the function what we have passed to the track by. So this track by can give you can actually run some code for your sake. When I gave you the real time example, then you will understand. We will see it in the future, but now I want to showcase what is the real time example for ngFor. Okay, let me have, instead of array of elements, just elements, array of strings, let me have some array of objects. So if I have array of objects, how can I access them? Instead of array of values, I will be having array of objects. For example, name is this one, and cost is this one. Okay, and then and the second object, this is another object where name of the course is Python and the cost of the course is 21,000. And then name of the course is Java, cost of the course is 34,000. And then name of the course is machine learning, right? And the cost is 50k. Okay, so here I have how many values, how many objects? 5 objects. If I have 5 objects, is it possible to repeat this? Of course, because course is an array, I can apply the courses array to ngFor. But while I am repeating it, I'll just remove this track by, because it kills the console. Uh, while I am repeating it, this C now points to an object. C points to name as well as cost. C points to Python as well as cost at a time. So instead of printing just C, if I print just C, it will print it as object. So if I print it C dot name, it will say that it will print as the respective course name. And if you print C dot cost, it will give you the cost as well. Can you see this here?
Yes.
Yeah, you understood this? How do I use array of objects in ngFor?
Yes, yes.
Rasika, is it okay? Already we have seen these all things, but yeah, but we have to discuss one more time. There is a reason for this. What is the real-time implementation of it? So now, sir, I would like to print all these information in a table. How can I print it in a table? Instead of H1, I want to print it in a table.
Table.
So how can I print it in a hello
Ah, yes, sir.
table? In the table, I am going to use I'm going to use tr. Tr. So in the tr, I will repeat the ng for is equal to let course of courses. Actually, you are supposed to write like this: course of courses. So in this, I can apply td. I will print first. Of course, I need the serial number also. So let I is equal to index. So I can apply I plus 1 over here so that it will start from 1. Index is not getting changed, only the printing value is getting changed. And then in another TD, I am going to print the course dot name. In another, I am going to print course dot cost. So my table is almost ready, and I had to apply some border is equal to uh, what 2. So I got the border as well. Okay, so now like this I can print my array values in a table, but 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 if I want to have different colors in each row, I mean different colors in different rows, I can make in a different. How can I do that? For all the alternate rows I should have a different color. So how can I apply this? I can make use of the array properties, sorry, ngFor properties. Let e is equal to even, so that even can be used when e will be true if the row is even.
Row
So,
is even.
so I can apply ng style over here. So I can apply style is equal to e colon. I'll write a string over here. What is that? Style background background color red, or else none. Okay. Okay, shall we apply in a different way? For example, I will create two classes LAL, which is giving me the background color as light coral. Okay, and that's it. So I want to apply this class instead of style. I'll make use of class. This class will be applied when e is true. It will apply lal class. Yeah. Oh, even in, okay. So it is applying only in the respective division td. Instead of that, if I apply it directly in the tr, you can see this change. Can you observe this? Can you observe this change? So this is possible. This got
Yes.
possible by even property. If I don't have even property, I can't do this. Okay. So
Yes.
I have directly assigned the property binding here with the to the class attribute. Okay. So this is about even property to have. Okay, like the same. Suppose if I have one more color, like लाल के जगह पे नीला, and the background color is light sky blue. No problem. Something. Okay, anything. So if I, if it is an even row, I should apply lal color. If it is a odd row, I can apply neela. For that I don't need odd property also. If it is not even, that is
Yes.
obviously an odd. So like this I
Yes.
can actually apply different colors to this. Sometimes you may need to write, or you may need to point out the first row in the bold letters or something like that. Is it possible to apply like that?
Yes. Yes. We can use first property.
Yes, absolutely. We can make use of the first property. Let f is equal to first,
Yes.
and then I will apply the first property here. So if it is first, then I can apply uh, that also. So, but how? Yeah, guys, you please do that. How do you implement it? Let me know. But this is how we
Okay.
can make use of the for loop for
Fine.
ngFor directive in the real time. Is it okay?
Yes.
That's it for
Yes.
today. We'll meet tomorrow
Okay.
for if else also. Okay, that is the new proper,
Oh,
that is a new standard
directive.
what we have received in the Angular 6. If and else
Okay.
is being discussed tomorrow. Okay, see you,
Okay.
see you,
Okay.
see you tomorrow. Please like, subscribe, and call us if you want some personal training. Thank you. Bye bye.
Okay. Thank you, sir.